What's up there, YouTube friends? Chetter here, back with another video. First off, I hope you are doing well. I hope you have a great day, and I hope everything goes well for you. Thank you very much for joining me for this video. This is a quick review of the new movie called The Front Room. The Front Room is found on Max. It's a streaming service called Max, formerly called HBO Max. So I'm going to do a quick review, give you some thoughts, see if you should see the movie or not. It's a weird movie, so get ready for that. This will be a spoiler-free review too, so I'll give you my score, the bit of a description, and then my justifications and reasoning for that. So I do hope you stick around for that too. I may include a spoiler section because I think it's worth getting into the spoilers for this movie. But this way you can kind of know what I thought of the movie and if you should go out of your way to see it. This movie is directed by two directors named Max and Sam Eggers. They have no relation to another movie director named Robert Eggers, who just recently released The Northman. This Max and Sam Eggers are their own line of Eggers as far as I can see, so they've made their own movie. And yeah, it's a weird movie, dude, so get ready if you're going to see this movie. It's a weird movie. I have kind of a love-hate feeling with this movie. As far as my score goes, I'm going to give it a very reluctant D-. Part of me wants to rate it more, but I also think that this film kind of deserves an F2, okay? So that's just, where I fall on it. I did look up a few reviews online, and I feel like people are rather mixed on this and dislike it for kind of different reasons, but it's a weird movie. If you look up the description, it's advertised as a psychological horror comedy, and technically I'd say that's what it is genre-wise, but functionally I feel like it's more appropriate to describe this movie as a gross-out poop joke movie that is framed, or that walks along as, it masquerades as a thriller movie, because a bulk of the movie is just, I want to say, thrilling sequences that just lead to gross out poop jokes. That's the bulk of the movie, and if that doesn't sound like it's for you, then it's probably not for you. To make things worse, the movie is basically about an old person shitting everywhere, and that's the horror of the movie. So that is the simplest description I can give it. There is a couple, I guess this is the plot description, right? There's a couple, interracial couple, white man, black woman. The white man's stepmother, who's also white, she moves into their home, and she's controlling, and she has creepy old lady vibes. There's also haunted house vibes. And that's basically the bulk of the movie, is you're feeling suspense of what's going to happen with this old creepy lady named Solange. You can tell something's off with her, and what's going to happen with that. And the movie is what brings this movie out of F tier and into D tier for me is that the movie is so well crafted that it actually does bring about moments of suspense, and there are thrilling moments, and it feels like it keeps telling you that there's going to be something deep or something insane that's going to happen, and every time it just leads to more poop jokes. So it was a rather disappointing movie, really. And D tier for me is my disappointed movies, okay? So it's disappointing because the movie looks so good and feels like it's working so hard, but all for material that's basically substanceless substance. It's this for a bunch of shitty material, basically, and if you have shitty material that's elevated to the best of it, that it can be, it's still shitty material, and that's basically my problems with the movie. Is it looks really good, it pretty much functions as a movie, but the bulk of the movie is Adam Sandler poop jokes kind of masquerading as a horror movie, and it's disappointing. All of the acting in the movie is really well done. All the characters are given portrayed to their fullest, especially Solange, the crazy old lady, the crazy grandma. She's portrayed really well, so I give props to all the actors. But the script and the content of the movie is just insulting and so lowbrow. Basically, it's just poop. that it's hard to recommend to anyone. Even and the thing is even for gross out movies, I feel like this movie doesn't really deliver on that. You don't see things that are super gross. It's just gross. It's not anything. It does. I don't feel like this movie pushes the boundaries of gross movies. It doesn't. It looks like an art movie, but it doesn't really fulfill the art movie function. It just kind of looks gross, and because the movie doesn't take itself so seriously, it holds itself back so much because you can tell that the material could have been elevated. There could have been some subtext and some meaning to what's going on, because I'll get into spoilers for that, but there could have been some depth for this. Not that every movie has to have depth in this or be deep, but if it was just going for gross outness, it didn't really push that boundaries. There's grosser movies that this is just a forgettable one. If you're going for a thriller suspense movie, this is a forgettable one. If you're going for just any of it, it's just I have so much trouble recommending this movie because I don't feel like it completes its job very well. That'll conclude my spoiler-free section. I don't think you're missing out anything if you just choose to stick around for my spoilers. So I do invite you to stick around for that. If not, I appreciate you listening this far. It's a pretty gross movie, so I don't really recommend it. But if you do see it, be sure to let me know if you had a more pleasant experience than me. And if you enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe. It does help me out tremendously. But I will go quickly into the spoiler section because that's where I can talk about my biggest problems of the movie, okay? So my biggest problem of this movie is, I guess, in the absence of the subtext and the absence of the meaning, because the movie is filmed at some points so seriously and so technically competent and well made that it really feels like there's going to be something there. And basically, I felt like this movie was working as sort of maybe not an analogy or but it was showing the existential horror, right, of having someone that basically that you hate move in and you have to live with this evil force. It's an evil force that you have to live with, right? And because Solange, the crazy old lady, is revealed to be racist. She was at one point involved in the KKK, and so she is very racist against her stepson's black wife, and that is a big part of the problem. And for some reason, Solange has so much hatred that she just keeps shitting and pooping everywhere, and she likes tormenting this couple with her feces, and so she just keeps pooping everywhere. And I guess my problem is that I wish the poop and the feces is filmed in a way where it's both a joke and it's both a nightmare. So we're supposed to both take it seriously, and it's supposed to also be a joke, right? And this sounds gross, it really muddies the analogy because you as the viewer can't figure out where the message is. Are we supposed to be scared of this fecal nightmare, or are we supposed to be more empathetic? Is there supposed to be a caretaker lesson here? But no, there's not really any lesson. It's just a lot of poop jokes. And then what solves the conflict, you may ask? Well, the main character kills Solange in her sleep, and then they burn her items. And that is how they solve the conflict. So moral of the story is, don't let a racist or someone who hates you into your home. Because they'll just want to shit everywhere and make you clean it up. And that's basically the movie. So it really feels like you sit through these cool shots and this cool framing, and you're always led on. I don't like being led on, and this movie felt like it was leading me on to something. I felt like I was going to get to something worthwhile, but even for the gross out departments, there's nothing super gross. It's just a lot of poop. It's just a lot of poop. And for the suspense that was there, it was well done, but it just doesn't lead to anything fulfilling. It's really unfulfilling, and the movie just becomes a joke. Okay, it doesn't take itself seriously. You don't need to take it seriously. It's just a farce. So it was disappointing, and mostly for that. I wish there was either, if it wasn't going to be serious, it needed to go have more fun with it. And if it was going to imply so much seriousness, then ramp up, like work on your analogy a little bit, have some actual something to think about. But there's nothing, absolutely nothing to think about here. It's just don't let a racist in who's going to poop over your house. Don't let someone or something that hates you into your house, right? That's the lesson to learn, because you're gonna end up hating yourself. It's gonna control your life and you're gonna hate yourself. So if you don't need to learn that lesson, you don't need to watch this movie. But let me know what you thought. I appreciate your time, and that will conclude this review. I will see you in the next video review, but I hope you have a great day. That'll be all. Chetter out. Bye-bye.